Attention all villagers. The Weather Bureau has issued a red alert. A massive rainstorm is going to hit us in 3 hours. All forester drivers, start your engines immediately. Get out to the fields and start harvesting now. I repeat, all harvester drivers, get out there and save the crops. We are racing against time. We can't afford to waste a single minute. Hurry, everyone move, get moving. Old Third, start your machine. Go harvest the village collective's 200 acres first. I'm on my way. Didn't we agree at last night's meeting that we'd start harvesting tomorrow? The wheat isn't fully ripe yet. And you're telling everyone to harvest right now? You're basically harvesting green crops. That's just throwing money away. Uncle Hutane, we can't wait until tomorrow. Listen to me, everyone. The Provincial Weather Bureau, the City Weather Bureau, and the County Bureau have all warned of 7 days of continuous, heavy rainstorms. Some areas will even get strong winds and hail. There's an old saying, wheat ripens in a flash, so snatch it from the storm. I didn't make this up. Once the wheat sprouts, the flour mills and grain depots won't buy it. If we wait, it'll get so moldy that even pig feed, the wheat will sprout right on the stalks. By then, 6 months of our hard work will go completely down the drain. 详情哪个洞棚? Like the old saying goes, when swallows fly low and snakes cross the road, a massive storm is on the way. But the wheat really isn't ready. If we harvest now, we'll lose at least 30 pounds per acre. With 200 acres in our village, that's a loss of 6,000 pounds. Is 6,000 pounds more important, or losing the entire harvest? Gokuhodian, you've been farming your whole life. Look how stiflingly hot it is, like a steamer. The heat is rising straight from the ground. This is a surefire sign of a massive rainstorm. Our Bayun village has heavy clay soil. Once it rains, it turns into a muddy swamp. When that happens, forget about the harvesters. Even people will sink up to their knees. The wheat will rot completely in the ground. Well, well, putting on quite a show here, are we? I could hear this siren howling all the way from my office.
You know the punk. So you completely lost your mind?
Who gave you permission to sound the alarm? Look for yourself. The Weather Bureau issued a red alert. A massive rainstorm is hitting in 3 hours and will last for 7 days. Last month, the Weather Bureau warned about a typhoon. Where was it? A month before that, they warned about hail. Those bureaucrats just sit in their comfortable offices drinking tea, reading newspapers, and talking out of their backsides. And you're treating their words like gospel? Sadafu. Listen to me carefully about your 1,000 acres of land. I am the actual contractor of this 1,000-acre tract in Bayun village. When to harvest the wheat is my call. Boss son, Changqing is only trying to help. Look at the weather. It really is weirdly muggy. Why don't we talk it over? Talk it over. Let me make myself absolutely clear today. If we harvest now, the out-of-town harvesters charge 80 yuan an acre. But if we wait until the day after tomorrow when the main fleet arrives, it's only 41 an acre. On 1,000 acres of land, I'll save 40,000 yuan just on the harvesting fees. That 40,000 is just the start. There are also the drying fees. If I harvest now, I'll have to rent drying towers. And the rent is 5,000 yuan a day, with electricity bills on top of that. If we wait until the day after tomorrow, the wheat will dry in the sun before going into storage. That's another 20 to 30,000 yuan saved. Plus, there's the yield loss. Harvesting now means 30 caddies less per acre. For 1,000 acres, that's 30,000 caddies. Calculated at 1.2 yan per caddy. That's another 36,000 yuan. And when you add all the other little expenses together, do you think I, Sun Dafu, have completely lost my mind to harvest today? You've calculated all of that. But have you calculated the cost of a total crop failure? You've invested no less than 2 million yuan in these 1,000 acres of land, and you're willing to risk 2 million just to save 100,000? Gambling? Haha, did you hear that? He says I'm gambling. When I, Sum Dafu, was running coal mines in Shaanxi, you were still in diapers, you little punk. I've been in business for 20 years. When have I ever misjudged a situation? It's just a couple drops of rain. Look at you, scared out of your wits. Aren't you embarrassed to even say that out loud? A couple drops of rain? Look at the horizon yourself. Are you blind to how pitch black those storm clouds are? Do you seriously trust the weather forecast? I'm making my stance clear. Right now. For this entire 1,000-acre field, we start harvesting the day after tomorrow. Now, if anyone dares to move a single harvester, you're making an enemy out of me, Sun Dafu. Uncle Haltine said that the 200 acres belonging to the collective are our Bayun village's own land, completely separate from his 1,000-acre plot. We should harvest our own fields first. In your dreams, you sounded the alarm today and scared the living daylights out of the entire village. And now you want them to go down to the fields to rush the harvest for pay? But who's going to pay for that? Once you're done harvesting and dust your hands of this, where am I supposed to hire people the day after tomorrow? You are disrupting the production order and ruining my harvest plans. If I don't put you in your place, the whole village will fall apart because of you. Lock Lu Changqing up. Lock in the old warehouse. Sandafu, you're not just locking up Lu Changqing today. You are locking away the last 3 hours that God has given us. Don't wait until the wheat sprouts in the dirt and you are left kneeling by the field, crying. Even if I throw my money into the water, it's none of your business. Lock him up. Screw you. I'm not listening to you. I'm going down to that field today, no matter what. Third brother, don't do it. The harvesters belong to the collective. It's not worth getting ourselves into trouble over this. Get in there. Sandafu, you are gambling with the lives of the entire village. It's starting. Right now. Sandafu, you can lock me up. But you can't stop this rain. Wheat ripens in a single moment, and we must snatch it from the dragon's mouth. Do you think that's just some old wives' tale made up to scare kids? Kumkoatan, when is this rain ever going to stop? I've already delivered 2 meals to the old warehouse. Changting asked me when the rain would ease up, so he could go out and check on the fields. Check on the fields? For what? What is there to see? It's only been raining for 3 days. Didn't the weather forecast say it would rain for 7 days? This is nothing. We're barely getting started. Boss-san, I just had third brother and the others go down to the fields to take a look. The few acres belonging to old John's family near the ditch. The water has already flooded past the ridges. That's because he didn't dig drainage ditches. We've said it 1,000 times. Farming requires a real plan. Just look at my 1,000 acres. Back in the spring, I dug 6 drainage channels crisscrossing the fields. That cost me tens of thousands of yuan. I made sure I was prepared for absolutely everything. I med hostis for risk. So what if it rains? Once it stops, we just drain the water and ends to and as the sun comes out. The wheat will dry out just fine. But Chongqing said, don't you dare bring him up. If he hadn't caused absolute chaos by sounding that alarm the other day, the whole village would be on track to start harvesting the day after tomorrow. Instead, he's locked up in the warehouse enjoying his peace and quiet, doing nothing but eating and sleeping. And you guys are still bringing him food. Starve him for a couple of meals and he'll fall right in line.
Boss-san, Chongqing is one of our outwit buying village.
He's also the technician sent down by the County Bureau of Agriculture. Even if you didn't see eye to eye, you've had it locked up for 3 whole days now. Don't worry, Chief Lee. Once my wheat is dry, I'll personally go and let him out. And then, I'll teach him a thing or two about what it actually means to be a professional. The rain stopped. Hurry, go check the fields. Uncle, which field should we look at first? Let's check the main plot first. Our village's 200-acre main plot. It's ruined. It's all completely ruined. We're finished. Flour mill won't accept this wheat, and the grain depot won't take it either. Even the pigs won't eat it. I've been farming my whole life, and I've never seen anything this devastating. No. That's impossible. This can't be happening. No! No way! It's impossible! Boss-san, I had some people check the fields right next to the drainage channels. The water drained out, but the rain was too heavy and the soil temperature is too high. All the fields are flooded? That's impossible! I used AI Kang 58, 3,000 pounds of seeds. Just buying them cost me 50,000 yuan. How could the crops in the field all be flattened? How could they have all sprouted? No. It's impossible. Boss-san, the rain was just too heavy. It didn't stop for 3 days and 3 nights. Never mind AI Kang 58. Thing wheat made of iron wouldn't have stood a chance. This is a natural disaster. Ha ha ha! It's not a natural disaster. It's that drink's Lu Chaoqing. If he hadn't sounded the alarm, I would have started harvesting tomorrow as planned. And it would have been right when the rain stopped. He's the one who caused all this trouble. The inspector from the grain depot is here. Quick, come take a look at this wheat. I'm just going to give it to you straight. The sprouting on the ears is extremely severe. The starch is already broken down. The flour yield is almost zero, even if you manage to mill it. The gluten structure is completely ruined. You can't steam buns with it, and you can't make noodles either. And from my experience, after being soaked for 3 days, the mold toxins are definitely way over the limit. It's completely unfit for human consumption. You can't even use it as animal feed. Pigs will get diarrhea and lose weight, and poultry farms wouldn't dare touch it. To put it simply, this wheat has absolutely no commercial value. If you want to get rid of it, I'd suggest contacting a biomass power plant. They might take it to burn in their boilers, but you'll have to pay for the shipping yourselves. They'll probably pay you about 100 yuan a ton. If you can even cover the fuel cost, you should consider yourselves lucky. Awesome. As long as you're okay, that's what matters. And the land is still here. Where there's life, there's hope. 2 million yuan for rent, 800,000 for seeds and fertilizer, 600,000 for labor, machinery, water, and power. God, are you blind? By the way, they say Changqing is still locked in the warehouse. The rain has stopped. Shouldn't we let him out? Let him out? Let who out? My 1,000 acres of land is completely ruined. The village collective's 200 acres is gone too. Our Baiyun village has 0 harvest this year. Lu Changxun cannot escape responsibility for this. If he really had what it takes, he should have stopped me back then. He's the technician. He knew exactly how big this storm was going to be. Why didn't he fight to the death to stop me? Why did he just let them lock him up so easily? You're the one who ordered your bodyguards to lock him up in the first place. Shut up. It was clearly you who told your bodyguards to lock him up. You're all in this together. Think, this whole thing is a scam. You people from Baiyun village teamed up just to screw me over? Tell every single villager to get to the square for a meeting right now. This isn't over. Lu Changqing has to give me an explanation. Your entire village of Baiyun has to give me an explanation. Changqing. We're here to open the door for you. Third brother, Uncle Li. Has the rain stopped outside? Yes, it did. It finally stopped this morning. Brother Changqing, you've suffered so much. We should have come to open the door much sooner. How did you even survive these past 3 days in this pitch black room? Maisie. Who told you guys to come and open this door? The old village chief let us. He said the crops are ruined and that we can't keep you locked up anymore. Where is Dr. Sun? He's sitting right in the mud, by the edge of the fields. All 1,000 acres are completely ruined. And then he said, we need to hold a meeting with all the villagers. He said he wants you to give everyone an explanation. An explanation? From me? Fine. It just so happens I have a few things I'd like to ask him in person, too. Is everyone here? I called you all here today, for one reason only. Our 1,000 acres of farmland here in Baiyun village, plus the 200 acres belonging to the village collective, have yielded absolutely nothing this year. The price per acre plummeted from 1,000 to just 50. They're rotting in the dirt, and nobody even wants to harvest them. This entire year's hard work went completely down the drain. Everyone's land lease fees, wages, and dividends have all vanished into thin air. Am I, Dr. Sun, responsible for this? Yes, I am. I'm the contractor. I was the one managing the land. But the direct cause of this disaster has absolutely nothing to do with poor management on my part. But rather, someone deliberately sounded the air raid siren right before the storm hit, spreading panic and disrupting our operations. Which is why I couldn't harvest the crops as planned. Stop trying to wiggle out of this. Oh, please. You're the one who locked up the harvesters yourself. I came to Baiyun village to invest. I poured my cold hard cash into this place. I created jobs for you and paid your land rent. And this is how your people repay me? By stabbing me in the back? If word of this gets out, what investor in their right mind would ever come to Baiyun village again? Let me make one thing crystal clear right now. He clearly knew a major storm was coming. So, if Lu Changqing didn't try hard enough to stop me, why should I take all the blame? If you ask me, he did it on purpose. He just wanted to make a laughingstock out of me, Sun Dafu. I was standing right next to the boss that day. After he sounded the alarm, he just ran off without even trying to convince us. He definitely did it maliciously. He's just jealous of how rich our boss is. I can testify to that too. He was acting incredibly arrogant that day. He said some nonsense like, God collects debts. He doesn't teach lessons. He was clearly cursing our boss. It was pure rubbish. The four of you are the ones who dragged Changqing away. The whole village saw it. You locked the door, and you put up the padlock. And now you're shifting the blame, saying he didn't stop you? You've got some nerve. Your skin is thicker than the village millstone.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
So what? Fly. We four outsiders have no right to run wild here.
ID Hatudan have been the village chief of Baiyong village for 38 years.
There is absolutely nothing I haven't seen. But in a situation like today, you had better shut your mouths.
Ma-san, you claim this is all Changqing's fault.
Then let me ask you a few questions. First question. On the day of the storm, who was the one who locked up the harvesters? I did that because I was afraid someone would steal them. Second question. Who ordered the botters to lock Changqing in the warehouse? And third question. Do you even remember Changqing's exact words that day? He say, once the wheat is ripe, we must snatch the harvest from the dragon's jaws. He warned us not to wait until the wheat started rotting and sprouting in the fields. Every single person sitting here heard him say it.
But did you listen?
Boss-san, you just said you were planning to start the harvest on the 4th day. But that very night, a few of us old-timers went to your office to see you. We begged you to harvest overnight before the rain started. But what did you say to us?
You said, it's not going to rain. Nobody touches a single harvester.
Are those your exact words, or not? At the time, I was only trying to calculate the costs.
Sun Dafu, you calculated the harvesting fees. You calculated the drying fees.
And you calculated a loss of 30 pounds of yield per acre.
But why didn't you calculate how much 1,000 acres of wheat rotting in the mud would cost us? When are you going to pay our family's land lease fees?
My son is working in the city, and we're desperate for that money to pay his tuition.
And what about the back wages you still owe us from last year?
Sun Dafu, you owe my husband 3 months of wages. When are you going to pay up?
Everyone, please listen to me. I will personally talk to Boss Sun about the land lease fees.
Please, let's calm down first so we can resolve this.
Resolve this with what? Does Sun Dafu even have any money left?
With 1,000 acres of wheat rotting in the fields, if he had any money, he would have paid us off long ago. Why else would he be standing here trying to make Lu Changqing take the fall?
Mr. Sun, long time no see.
Mr. Wu, what brings you here in person? Didn't we agree on the phone that I would contact you as soon as I sorted things out here? I heard you have run into a bit of trouble over here. A total crop failure across 1,000 acres of land. Mr. Wu, let me explain. The situation is, it's not what you think. Yes, the wheat is ruined, but the land is still perfectly fine. This is prime, fertile land. The rich soil holds moisture and nutrients perfectly. Anything you plant here will thrive.
So about the price we discussed last time.
The price we discussed last time belongs to the past. Take a look at this land transfer letter of intent first. Mr. Sun, 1,000 acres of continuous land. Our company, Hangzhou Chemical, is willing to take over the entire parcel. However, we need to renegotiate the price, Mr. Sun. Right now, your land is nothing but a public eyesore. Thousands of tons of rotting, foul-smelling wheat straw are piled high in your fields. If you don't clear all that out, our chemical company won't even be able to break ground. Do you have any idea how much the cleanup is going to cost? At least 300 bucks a moo. For 1,000 new, that is 300,000. I will cover that. I will pay it, just as soon as the contract is signed. I will hire people to clean it up right away. 3 days. No, 2 days. And it is done.
Mr. Sun, I'm talking about 300,000 minimum.
Your land is covered in mud.
The wheat stalks have collapsed, so machinery cannot even get in.
We have to do it by hand.
And you know the going rate for labor these days better than I do.
Besides, time is running out.
Our Hingshang project is already going through environmental review.
We must break ground next month.
If you cannot clear this land within 3 days,
we are walking away from this deal. 3 days. 3 days, absolutely. I will get it cleared.
Mr. Wu, rest assured.
You do not trust how I, Sun Dafu, get things done?
Within 3 days, I will absolutely clear this land completely.
A chemical plant? He wants to build a chemical plant on our land? No way. We cannot let that happen. Once that chemical plant is built, our village's water supply is completely ruined. Right, Uncle Otian? We absolutely cannot agree to this. Sekheng Chemical. I have heard of them. There is one of their factories in Bai County, and they have been fined multiple times for dumping toxic waste.
But well water in the 3 surrounding villages is completely foul.
Bossum, you said before that this land was for agricultural development. It is written right there in black and white on the contract. Agricultural use. And now you are handing it over to a chemical plant?
Village Chief Lee.
I am drowning in debt right now.
The banks are hounding me. Suppliers are pounding on my door, and your villagers are breathing down my neck for money.
If I do not sell this lease, how am I supposed to pay them back?
But what?
I am the one who leased this land.
The contract says 20 years. For these 20 years, if I want to farm, I will farm. If I want to build a factory, I will build a factory.
It has absolutely nothing to do with you people in Bayun Village.
Well, I still do not agree. Then sue me.
Go to town and hire 20 workers for me right now. First thing tomorrow morning, bring the herbicide and diesel over here.
Burn every single bit of rotten wheat straw in those fields. Burn it all down. That's right. Burn it.
It has to be done within 3 days.
Clear it out, pour the diesel, and burn it. Mr. Wu said 3 days. Not a single day less. You can't burn it. If you do, this land will be completely ruined.
If that diesel seeps into the soil, we won't be able to grow anything here for 10 years.
Everyone, listen to me.
江大夫，
You just said you were going to pour diesel and burn this land, right?
I'm burning my own leased land. What law am I breaking? What law are you breaking?
Article 10 of the Basic Farmland Protection Regulations strictly prohibits any organization or individual from destroying the cultivation layer of basic farmland. In Article 42 of the Environmental Protection Law strictly forbids dumping heavy metals or other toxic and harmful substances on agricultural land.
Pouring diesel and burning the fields.
You are breaking both laws at the same time.
Now tell me, which law did you break?
My fellow villagers, this land is the very lifeblood of our Bayun village. Sun Dafu wants to sell this land to a chemical plant.
He is destroying the future of our children and grandchildren. Once that chemical plant is built, toxic waste will seep deep into the ground. Our well water will become undrinkable, and we won't be able to grow any crops.
It's true that he leased this land, but the actual ownership belongs to our collective, to Bayun Village. The contract clearly states in black and white that this land is for agricultural use only. If he wants to transfer to a chemical plant, he must get the collective consent of the village.
As long as we say no,
he can't sell a single inch of it. And as for your claim that you'll clear this land within 3 days,
I have a proposal.
What hours? What proposal? Give me 3 days. I won't ask you for a single penny, and I will completely clear out all the rotten wheat from these fields. Not a single stalk will be left.
If I succeed, you must unconditionally return the land transfer contract to Bayun Village. But if I fail,
I'll cover the cleanup fees for the entire 1,000-acre field myself. You can burn the land if you want.
Or sell it to the factory for all I care.
I, Yu Chanqing, will pack my bags and get the hell out of Bayun Village.
And I will never return for the rest of my life.
Chanqing, have you lost your mind?
1,000 mu of land, thousands of tons of rotten wheat.
3 days is absolutely impossible, Changqing.
Don't do anything reckless.
The wheat in the fields has all collapsed and is soaking in the mud. The harvesters can't even get in.
We'll have to cut it by hand, one sickle at a time. 1,000 mu, let alone 3 days.
Even 30 people couldn't clear it in a whole month.
Chanqing, are you absolutely sure about this?
Young man, listen to me. When has Lu Changqing ever made a promise he couldn't keep?
八四下，于日后我强秦之血。
1,000 mu of land, hundreds of thousands of caddies of rotten wheat, all trapped in the mud.
Just pulling it out will take hundreds of laborers, and hauling it out will cost a fortune in shipping fees. Even if you can find the workers, 300,000 yuan wouldn't even cover it. And there is absolutely no way to finish in 3 days. This isn't a bet. This is just giving it away on a silver platter.
Lu Chanqing.
Did you study yourself stupid in school? Fine. You want to be a hero, right? I'll fulfill your wish.
We'll put this wager in black and white. Clear the entire 1,000 mu of land within 3 days, and the land transfer contract will be unconditionally returned to the village collective. If you can't, you pay the cleanup fees, and you get the hell out of
Bayun Village. Do you dare to sign?
Add this clause. In Party A Sunda, during the cleanup period, unauthorizedly pours diesel on the land or uses herbicides or other chemicals to destroy the soil, then this agreement is automatically voided, and Party A must pay an additional 300,000 yuan in soil restoration fees to the village collective. Cite it. Add whatever you want. You're never going to finish anyway.
Listen up, everyone.
陆强情灾力很糟。
He'll clear the land within 3 days without asking me for a single penny.
If he can't, he'll pay for it and get the hell out. Everyone in Bayou Village, you are all witnesses. When the time comes, don't blame me for being ruthless. Specialist Lu,
The absolute stupidest thing you've ever done in your life is pick a fight with me, Dr. Sun.
Cha-chin. We only have 3 days left.
And there are 1,000 acres of wheat.
What do you plan to do?
Specialist Lou, I looked at those photos you sent on WeChat. Yes,
The sprouting is even better than I expected.
The sprouts are 1 to 1.5 inches long, and the endosperm is translucent.
this means the starch conversion rate is at least 60%.
In craft brewing circles, this is known as heaven-sent high-oxygen malt. Over in Japan, they call it rain-dew malt. You can't produce this under normal conditions at all. Nobody would risk tens of thousands of pounds of wheat just to gamble on continuous rain. Dr. Joe, I just have one question. If I rush to harvest all of this wheat,
It used traditional brick kilns for the kilning and roasting.
will Jeans we buy it?
You have brick kilns.
The village has 4 old brick kilns from the 1960s and 2 tobacco curing barns. Even though they've been abandoned for over 10 years,
The structures and vents are still completely intact.
that's incredible. Specialist Lou, listen to me. The most critical part of craft malting is the precise control of kilning temperature and duration.
Modern stainless steel drying towers are too uniform and gentle with their heat.
They can't create that rich depth of flavor. But with those old brick cones of yours, the temperature gradients are huge and the airflow is highly complex. If you control it well, you can create caramel, coffee, and chocolate. 3 totally different roasted flavors. The international craft brewing scene has been raving about this traditional kiln-roasted malt for the past 2 years. An old factory in Belgium sells it for €15 a kilogram. Dr. Joe, I need your technical support. The kilning temperature curves, the turning frequency, and the sprout length control standards. Can you guide me remotely? I'm booking a flight right now, but I'm in Hangzhou, so the earliest I can get there is the afternoon of the day after tomorrow. I'm Joe Jaishi from Bopi's family. You get those raw materials harvested first. Once they reach the kiln, I'll keep my eyes on them the entire time.
All right.
One more thing. I'm going to need an advance. Harvesting the wheat means hiring workers and renting trucks.
And repairing the kiln requires fire bricks and temperature control equipment.
Plus, I have to feed everyone in the village. How much? 200,000. Give me 2 hours.
To technical director of the Golden Spike Craft Beer Group, Dr. Joe, they're willing to buy this batch of sprouted wheat from us.
Sprouted wheat? Someone actually wants that?
I thought even pigs wouldn't touch that stuff.
Chak-Teen, you're not getting scammed, are you?
Why on earth would a brewery want rotten wheat?
Everyone, listen to me.
Floridos won't take sprouted wheat, because once it sprouts, the starch turns into sugar. You can't grind it into flour anymore. But that conversion is exactly what breweries need. Beer is brewed by fermenting malted wheat. The sprouts in our fields are long and incredibly even. It makes the perfect raw material for craft beer.
Normal wheat sells for 1.2 yuan a pound on the market, but they're buying this premium malt for 5 yuan a pound.
With our fields yielding 800 to 900 pounds per mu.
That means
Over 4,000 yuan. That's several times more than what we'd get for normal wheat. Then what are we waiting for? Let's get out there and harvest it. Wait a minute. Before we start, there are a few things we need to get straight. First, these next 3 days are going to be back-breaking, non-stop work. 1,000 mu of land. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of wheat, all trapped in the mud. The harvesters can't get out there.
We'll have to rely on crawler tractors to haul everyone in.
This is brutal work. It's exhausting, and it's filthy. If you're up for it, stay. If you're not, you can head home right now. No shame in that. Second,
I'm not Sandafu.
I don't do IOUs. Starting today, every single worker gets paid daily. 300 yuan a day for the men, 200 a day for the women. Pay in full at the end of every day. Not a single penny owed. Third, and most importantly, over these next 3 days, if anyone tries to slack off or just waste time without putting in the work, don't blame me, Lu Changqing, for turning my back on you. Remember, we aren't working for Sun Dafu. We are doing this for ourselves, for our own Baiyun village. Once we reclaim our land, we'll farm it ourselves. We'll harvest it, and we'll keep all the profits. But if we fail to get it back, and that chemical plant gets built, our well water will rot and smell. Our land will turn toxic, and our children and grandchildren will curse us for the rest of their lives. So, are we doing this? Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Third brother,
Take 10 people to the old warehouse and get that crawler tractor repaired and ready. Make sure every single link of the track chain is oiled up.
Tear down the sideboards. We don't need them. Replace them with waterproof canvas instead.
That tractor needs to be ready to roll within 2 hours.
You got it?
Old Lee, you're the most experienced carpenter in our village. Take the carpentry team and fix those 3 threshing machines on the yard. Replace the belts with brand new ones.
Switch the mesh screens to the largest size.
And pack the motor bearings with fresh grease.
I want to hear those machines roaring before sunset tonight.
Don't you worry, Chang-Ching.
Perfect. Uncle Hutin, you know everyone in this village best. You'll be in charge of logistics. Gather all the ladies in the village who can cook.
Set up 3 massive cooking pots right in the yard.
3 meals a day. All you can eat steamed buns, and every single bowl of stew must have real meat.
We'll be working around the clock for 3 days and 3 nights. Our people cannot fight this battle on an empty stomach.
Go straight to town and get the flour and meat on credit. Put it all on my tab.
I'm on my way.
Auntie Zhao.
You'll be in charge of looking after the kids. Every single person in the village who can work is already out in the fields. But we can't just leave the kids with no one to watch them. Let's clean up that empty classroom at the village school
And have everyone send their kids there.
You and a few of the older grandmas can look after them together.
No problem, Chang-Ching. Leave it to your auntie.
Dafan has 12 fields in total.
The 4 plots near the drainage bridge have the least damage.
We'll salvage those 4 first today.
The remaining 8 plots have severe damage and are deeply trapped in the mud.
We'll work on those after we've modified the crawler vehicle.
Now everyone, go home, change your clothes, and grab your tools.
Meet at the village entrance in 10 minutes.
Chang-Qing, but your uncle a straight answer.
Can that craft malt really sell for 5 yuan a pound? Yes, uncle. You farmed your whole life, so you know exactly what happens when wheat sprouts.
A grain of wheat is mainly made of 2 things, starch and protein. That's what gives the dough its chewiness. 4 mills don't want sprouted wheat because the starch has already been broken down into sugar by enzymes. That completely ruins the gluten structure. But that sugar is exactly what brewing beer requires.
In the beer making process,
The very first step is turning barley into malt.
Allowing it to sprout and produce enzymes, which convert the starch into sugar. Then, yeast is added for fermentation to turn that sugar into alcohol.
So, what is useless waste to a flour mill is absolute gold to a brewery.
But that brick kiln has been abandoned for more than 10 years. Can we still use it?
Yes, we can. When I was a kid, I used to cure tobacco leaves in that kiln with my grandfather. All 4 kilns are built with refractory bricks. The longer they sit, the sturdier they get. If the air ducts are blocked, we can clear them, and I'll head to the county seat to buy new temperature gauges. The real key is the skill of controlling the temperature. Not many people know how to operate these old brick kilns anymore, but my grandfather taught me everything. How wide to open the draft door, how much coal to add, when to open the kiln doors to release the moisture, and when to seal the kiln for slow smoldering. I remember every single bit of it. If your grandfather, Lu Guangfeng, were still alive and can see how capable you are today, he'd be laughing his head off with pride. Back in the day, he was a famous master in our commune. When it came to running the kiln and curing tobacco leaves, nobody in the entire region could match his control of the fire.
So, when Sun Dafu locked me in that old warehouse, it finally hit me. That warehouse and the old brick kiln are only separated by a single wall.
I was sitting there on those fertilizer bags,
Smelling the old, smoky scent drifting over from the brick kiln next door.
and suddenly it hit me. The sprouting wheat.
fire up the brick kiln to roast the grains and make malt. Go ahead and give it your all. These old bones from Bayun village can still hustle with you. One more time.
Changxing, all the strong men in the village are waiting for you at the entrance.
What are you standing around for? Let's get to work. This land belongs to us. Bayun village.
This wheat is our pride and joy. Start harvesting.
You! It's bitter, sour, and astringent. But underneath, there's a hint of sweetness. Brother Changqing, the drawer is ready. We can hit the fields first thing tomorrow morning. But I just did the math. Even at our best, we harvested less than 20 acres on the first day. We have 1,000 acres to cover.
Brother Cheng, at this rate,
I know. On the first day, we were just getting used to the tools, and the machinery wasn't fully set up. Everyone was still figuring things out. Once the crawler hits the field tomorrow, our speed will double. Strictly speaking, we shouldn't mix them. But in practice, a single batch of malt is allowed to have up to 5% of underminated grains. So, do you have enough quantity on your end?
I do, but I want to grade them.
But sprouted wheat will be processed separately as premium grade, and we'll make the rest with a few underminated ones for standard grade. That way, we can process all the wheat from our 1,000 acres without wasting a single pound. Great idea. We can start with standard grade, and I can also hook you up with feed grade buyers. That price is sky high, dozens of times better than selling it to the power plants. Let's go! Today's goal is the 6 fields to the east, all 400 acres.
The crawler will lead the way, and everyone else will harvest right behind it. Once you harvest a bundle, dump it straight into the trailer.
As soon as the trailer is full, haul it back immediately. Keep the threshing floor running non-stop.
Case shifts to rest, but the machines must never stop.
Any questions? None. None at all.
Third brother Zhao, you drive the crawler. Old Lee, the threshing floor is yours. I'm giving you 3 threshers to polish them all at once. Uncle Tan, you keep an eye on the logistics. Bring land straight to the fields today, and make sure the sweet mung bean soup keeps coming. If anyone gets heat stroke, carry them to the shade immediately.
We'll do exactly as Changxing says.
Once we get through these 3 days, we'll win our land back for Baiyun Village. Don't just stand there. Let's move.
Beautiful. What beautiful wheat.
Let's get to work. These sprouts are even longer than yesterday's batch, and they taste even sweeter.
The sourness is almost gone. What Changqing said is true.
This stuff can actually be used to brew liquor. It's a bit sweet.
It tastes pretty much like raw wheat kernels.
But it's kind of bitter. Will the liquor brewed from this actually taste good? Who cares if it tastes good or not? As long as it really sells for 5 in a pound, that's all that matters.
Changqing, someone from Sundahu's side is over there, lurking around.
It's that plot at the far west of the big field, right next to the highway.
Sundafu brought a pickup truck.
It's loaded with several large plastic barrels. Their head bodyguard is pouring something onto the field. According to the 3rd clause of Sundafu's wager agreement, unauthorized spraying of weed killer to destroy the topsoil will void the agreement. And you'll have to pay the village collective 300,000 yuan. It's right there in black and white, and you signed it. Let go of me. Who said this is weed killer?
This is just plain water.
Can't I splash some water to cool down the soil?
Plain water? Then take a sip and prove it. Take 1 sip, and I'll let you go right now.
Sundafu, you've gone way too far. Once we get the land back, it belongs to our Baiyun Village. Now you're pouring chemicals on it to ruin the soil so nobody can have it. Is that it? I didn't pour anything. I told you, it's just water. Just try touching me. Any of you. I'll call the police. I'll have you all arrested. Unholy Tan, come to the far west side of the big field. Yes, right, to part next to the highway. Sundafu is over here pouring weed kill. Bring the wager contract with you. Party A, Sundafu, without authorization, pours diesel, weed killer, or other chemicals onto the land to destroy the topsoil during the cleanup period. Then this agreement shall be automatically voided. Party A must pay the village collective an additional 300,000 yuan for soil restoration. I just came over to take a look. I didn't actually mean to pour it. I just poured a tiny bit to test it. Just that one tiny spot.
Lan San, unload those 3 barrels from the pickup and take photos for evidence.
Then go to the town police station to report this. Tell them someone is dumping toxic chemicals onto prime agricultural land. You wouldn't dare. Sundafu, let me make this crystal clear today. You're the one who signed the wager agreement. The old village chief witnessed the signing. It's in black and white. It is legally binding. And now, you're pouring weed killer on our land. That is a breach of contract and a crime. You are harming the interests of the entire village just for ruining these few rows of crops. I could make sure you never walk out of Baiyun Village alive. You hear me? Let's go. Let's get out of here. Just you wait, Lu Changqing. Just you wait. There are only 2 days left. Let's see how you're going to harvest all 1,000 acres of this land in 2 days.
It's all right, everyone. Go back to harvesting the wheat.
醒醒, that guy, Dr. Sun, won't give up so easily.
He'll definitely come back tonight. Should we post some guards? Just 10? No need to guard it. He used glyphosate, which deactivates on contact with soil. It won't seep in too deep. Even if this season's wheat is ruined, we can still plant as usual in the summer. He wanted to ruin our land, but he failed.
Instead, he just handed us the perfect leverage against him. La-san, go to town this afternoon and buy a few things.
Buy some infrared motion alarms.
Cheap ones on Taobao that cost a few dozen yuan each.
And buy 4 high-power searchlights and some gongs. Oh, and grab a few extra power banks. Got it?
The sweetness is much more noticeable than yesterday.
The sour. Astringent taste is almost completely gone.
There's even a subtle hint of caramel aroma.
This is the precursor to the Maynard reaction. Putting it in the kiln for roasting now is the absolute perfect time.
Xuanqing, I bought the things.
The arms on Taobao would take until the day after tomorrow to arrive, even with SF Express.
So I bought some construction-grade infrared sensor switches from a hardware store in town. They'll do the job just fine.
That's enough. We're working overtime tonight.
Clear out the air vents of the 4 old brick kilns.
Calibrate the temperature gauges. Start moving the wheat from the threshing floor into the kilns tonight. As soon as Dr. Joe arrives tomorrow night,
We light the fire immediately.
The kilns are in perfect condition. The flue is blocked. We need to clear it.
巴生喺邊度浪不冇蒲
On it.
This kiln retains heat even better than a modern drying tower. These fire bricks have been fired for so many years. They only get stronger the more they are heated. Tomorrow morning, we'll lay out the wheat. Then we light the fire in the afternoon. By the morning of the day after tomorrow, we'll have our first batch of finished products.
Brother Chen-Qi, we can win this, right?
La-san, do you smell that? No, not just the wheat.
And the earthy smell of wet mud? No, smell it again. It's sweet. A little sweet. The starch is turning into sugar. Nature's craftsmanship is way faster than ours. This batch of sprouted wheat is transforming itself. By the time we light the fire the day after tomorrow, the sugar conversion will hit its peak. The malt we get then won't be just any ordinary malt. It's going to be incredibly sweet. All right, everyone go back and get some rest. Bring the guys over. Bao Zhuang, they're moving. Get down by the wall. Keep the lights off.
一個山楂夫們
Shh.
That's not herbicide.
It's diesel. They're here to burn the wheat. Hurry up. Everyone take a pile. Pour it on and light it up. The boss said we get 2,000 yuan each once it's done. Get to work. Ha! Drop the buckets. Mind your own business. This is Boss Son's land. If he wants to burn it, he burns it. Bullshit. Who said this is his land? The bet agreement is still right here in my pocket. No one touches this land for 3 days. It's written right there, in black and white. Pouring diesel is illegal. Breaching this contract will cost you 300,000. Plus, what you're doing tonight is attempted arson, a criminal offense. And as for the rest of you, drop your buckets and walk away right now. And I won't press charges. But if you insist on pouring it, I will take you down myself. You're all going to the police station tonight. It's a crime. You'll get at least 3 years in prison. Just you wait. Uncle Chin. These diesel drums are also evidence. Tomorrow, we'll take photos of them along with the pickup truck to keep on file.
Chanqing, you're right.
This isn't ruined wheat. This is a treasure sent from the heavens. There's only 1 day left. Dr. Joe's flight lands tomorrow evening.
Lo-san, don't go to the fields tomorrow morning. Take a few men to inspect the kiln doors, dampers, and ceiling clay of the old kilns,
And check the refractory bricks one more time.
get ready to light the fires.
Technician Lu, I've boarded the plane. It'll take 2.5 hours to reach the provincial capital.
Then it's another 3-hour drive to your village.
I should arrive around 3 in the afternoon.
We've harvested over 600 mu of wheat. There are still over 300 mu left to harvest. All 4 old brick kilns flues were completely cleared last night. The temperature gauges have all been calibrated.
The problem now is we only have 1 day and 1 night to light the fire and produce the final batch.
Dr. Joe, I need you to calculate something for me.
You said the sprouts on this batch of wheat have already reached 1.5 inches.
The moisture content is still around 40%. If we use the brick kilns to halt the sprouting,
how high does the first stage temperature need to be to lock the sprouts in place? Normally, the process starts at 65 degrees and holds for 3 to 4 hours to deactivate the enzymes. But since you said the sprouts are already 1.5 inches, the starch conversion rate must be extremely high.
the enzyme activity will be much stronger too.
I suggest ramping up the first stage temperature to 70 degrees. Hold it for at least 5 hours, and then slowly raise it to 85 degrees in the second stage to roast it to a nice caramel color. Is your temperature control precise enough? It's precise enough. We control the temperature using the dampers and the amount of coal we feed in. My granddad taught me. It'll work.
We'll talk more when I get there.
Light the fires. Dr. Joe said to wait until he gets here, but we can't wait anymore.
He won't be here until 3 in the afternoon.
If we wait until he arrives to light the fires,
The first batch of finished products won't be ready until tomorrow morning.
we'll miss the deadline for our wager.
I'm lighting the fires now.
By the time he arrives this afternoon, the first batch of malt will be just entering the roasting stage.
This is perfect. Just in time for him to inspect it.
Close the kiln door, but leave 1/3 of the air vent open. Call me when the temperature hits 65 degrees.
Who's steaming sugar buns? It smells so good.
They're not steaming buns. It's coming from the old brick kiln.
Chanqing is roasting wheat in the kiln.
Since when does roasting wheat smell this good?
Seal the door and close the vents down to 1/10. Dr. Sun is here. He drove over in that beat-up pickup truck of his. He'll be here any second. Send him over.
Got it.
刘强群，握得好了又摇头。
Running a kiln right here in the village? Do you have any idea how strict the Environmental Protection Bureau is right now? With all this smoke you're making, one phone call from me and they'll shut your kiln down in a heartbeat. Did you come all this way just to tell me that? I'm here to remind you. Today's the 3rd day. If you don't clear all 1,000 acres of land before 12 o'clock tonight, you lose the bet. And you'll be the one paying for the cleanup costs.
My wheat is already spoken for. That chemical plant can wait.
Acting.
I did my homework. That so-called craft malt of yours is just a pipe dream some female researcher sold you. Has she even been here? Has she even looked at your wheat?
Have you two signed a contract?
Has she transferred even a single penny to you? Actually, she did. The 200,000 yuan advance from James. Claimed yesterday afternoon. Is that clear enough for you?
200,000 John? That's nothing.
200,000 won't even cover the cleanup costs. Just the labor to clear your 1,000 acres will cost at least 300,000 yuan. What is 200,000 yuan going to do? Third brother, close the air vent a little more. The temperature is rising too fast. Keep it right around 70 degrees. Within 2 degrees of variation. Got it? Fine. Keep pretending. Tonight at 12 o'clock sharp, I'll be back with Director Wu from the chemical plant and our lawyer. And if you can't show proof that the land is completely cleared, make sure the land clearing money is ready. Not a single penny less.
强亲，自居士的外嗣吗？
When I was young, I saw them roasting malt at the county brewery. It smelled exactly like this.
Uncle Otane, you've seen malt roasting before? I have. Back in the 60s, the county brewery still used the old method to make beer.
They had a small, specialized kiln just for roasting malt. The roasted barley would turn a deep, golden brown.
When you cracked it open, there was this rich aroma of sweet caramel. But later, the brewery switched to stainless steel equipment.
And I never smelled that aroma again. It's been over 40 years.
The sugars underwent a caramelization reaction under the high heat.
This is the quality you only get from top-tier caramel malt.
Add another half a shovel of coal.
Bring the temperature up to 85 degrees, and let's begin the roasting stage.
Oh my God, this is the exact smell. This is the aroma I've been searching for 8 years.
An old kiln in Belgium makes roasted malt
With this exact smell.
They sell it for 15 euros a kilogram.
Dr. Joe, you're finally here.
It's roasting in the kiln right now. Come, take a look. Open it up. Open it up. Open kiln door. I need to take a sample. Germination rate is 95%. The sprouts are 1.5 inches long. The killing stage was stopped at the perfect moment. The enzyme activity should still be well over 40%.
Rich caramel aroma.
Malty sweetness with a subtle coffee finish.
Technician Lou,
You've successfully made premium, handmade kiln-roasted malt.
regular malt is only 3 or 4 yuan a pound.
But yours can sell for 8 to 10 yuan a pound.
I'll guarantee a minimum purchase price of 5 yuan, and 8 yuan for the top-grade ones.
Tungkin, calculate how many pounds we can get from 1,000 mu of land.
1,000 mu of land yields 800 pounds per mu. That's 800,000 pounds of raw wheat, yielding 600,000 to 700,000 pounds of finished malt.
Calculating conservatively at 5 yuan a pound. That's over 3 million yuan, Brother Changshin.
Over 3 million yuan. It's completely golden and translucent. Uncle Huday, please put that bed agreement away safe and sound. We need to use them tonight.
Keep them safe, Changqing. Your grandfather is watching over you from heaven. Old Third, keep harvesting the remaining 300 acres. We can't afford to leave even a single blade behind.
Tell everyone to gather at the main square at 6 o'clock tonight.
If Dr. Sun wants to inspect it, we'll let him inspect it. Get the harvesters onto the field. You've already done most of the work by now.
The tracked harvesters can go in now.
Rush and harvest the remaining 300 acres completely.
Bring everything to the main square.
No need to spread them out on the ground.
Send them straight to the kill.
But if the harvesters go in, they'll tear up the fields.
Let them tear it up then. The wheat is worth more than the soil.
The harvesters will only leave 2 ruts. Once we till the soil,
You can plant crops next year just the same.
but every extra acre of wheat harvested is 6,000 to 7,000 yuan.
Do the math. Let's go.
This entire batch is fully qualified.
Premier roasted malt.
I can sign the official purchase contract with you right now. The pricing is tiered.
For top-grade products over 90%, it's 8.5 yuan per half kilogram.
As for the remaining regular grade, we'll buy them all up at 5 yuan per half kilogram.
We'll cover the shipping cost ourselves. Everyone, not contract is signed.
We actually sold the ruined wheat from 1,000 acres of land.
You can calculate the total price yourselves.
I'll just say one thing. This year, Baiyuan Village's land transfer fees won't be short by a single cent. Take this written agreement and keep it safe.
Dr. Sun's appointment with the chemical plant people is at 6:30 tonight.
I'll go wait for them at the village entrance first.
Old Third, take a few people and cover up those piles of malt in the square. Don't let the wind blow them away. Got it?
We're finally here, Dr. Sun.
Do you still remember what I said 3 days ago? When heaven wants to settle your debt,
It won't even give you a receipt.
now, the day of reckoning is here.
President Wu, Lawyer Wang, this way please.
Today's matter is simple.
The bed agreement is right here, in black and white. Whoever loses pays up.
Let me take you to the fields to see how the cleanup of that rotten wheat is going.
Basan, Mr. Ru.
You're here. You're finally here. Fif Li, the 3-day deadline is up. Jiang Chemical Project is waiting to move in. Today's inspection will be done strictly according to the agreement.
Attorney Wang, please read the terms of the agreement one more time. Party A, Sun Dafu.
Party B,
Lu Chengqing.
both parties agree that within 3 days from the signing of this agreement, Party B must completely clean up all rotten wheat stalks and waste crops from the 1,000 acres of wheat fields contracted by Party A.
Supplementary Clause 3 of the agreement.
Party A must not pour diesel onto the land during the cleanup period. Party B has the right to use or otherwise dispose of the land. Otherwise, this agreement will be voided, and Party A shall compensate the village collective 300,000 yuan for land restoration fees. Today is August 17th, at 6:35 p.m. The deadline is 12 o'clock, tonight, and early inspection is perfectly fine. Then let's do the inspection. Let's head to the fields. I've loved to see how Lu Changqing managed to clear it all in just 3 days. No need to go to the fields.
What?
You realized you couldn't finish the job and giving up already? Not bad, Lu Changqing. It would have been so much better if you'd been this straightforward from the start.
The cleanup fee is 300,000 yuan.
Plus what you said earlier. I said we don't need to go to the fields because there is already nothing left out there. Everything you want to inspect is right here.
宋大夫，
3 days ago, when you locked me in the warehouse at the village committee office, you said, "Even if I burn my money to ashes, I'll never beg you for help." Do you still remember that? What hours? What is this? The wheat from those 1,000 acres. 3 days ago, you said this wheat was completely useless. But you forgot about one thing. Craft beer. Your sprouted rotten wheat, after specialized kill drying and roasting, is called premium caramel malt. It is the absolute core ingredient of craft beer. 8.5 yuan a pound. 8.5. I am Schelt, sir. Technical Director of Juzue Craft Beer Group. I have PhD in Fermentation Engineering from Jiangnan University. Here's my business card and copies of my qualification certificates. This afternoon, we conducted a comprehensive test on this batch of malt. The germination rate is 95%. The saccharifying power is 380 WK. And the alpha amino nitrogen content is 152 milligrams per 100 grams. The color scale is 15.3 EBC. After a comprehensive evaluation, our premium handcrafted kiln-baked caramelized malt goes for 8 to 15 euros a kilo on the international market. And our offered purchasing price is 8 yuan 50 cents per half kilo for the premium grade, 5 yuan per half kilo for the regular grade. Everything is fully covered. The contract is already signed. 3,150,000 yuan, Mr. Sun. And you claimed this batch of wheat was a total crop failure? Mr. Wu, please listen to me. This whole caramelized malt thing is just a flat-out lie they made up. It's a scam. They're just trying to stop me from selling the land. I've already run tests on it. If you have any doubts about my qualifications, my doctoral degree certificate, our group business license, and the official appraisal from the Provincial Academy of Agricultural Sciences are all right here. You can verify them at any time. But that 1,000 mo field hasn't even been fully harvested, right? Our wager agreement explicitly states the land must be completely cleared. I just took a look, and there's still unharvested wheat left out there. There are less than 4 hours left until midnight. With these harvesters, that remaining bit of wheat can be cleared in under 2 hours. If you're still worried, you're welcome to stand right there at the edge of the field and watch.
This isn't right. This isn't right.
That is clearly my wheat. It's in my field. But you signed the wager agreement to completely clear the land within 3 days. The land transfer contract states it must be unconditionally returned to Bayou Village. It's right there in black and white, with your signature on it. Sandafu, 3 days ago, when you stopped those harvesters, you bragged about doing the math. Saving 40 yuan in harvesting fees per mu, which means saving 40,000 yuan for 1,000 mu. You called that controlling costs. I told you back then. Risking 2 million yuan just to save 100,000 is pure suicide. Now, the math is finally done, and the money you lost, I earned it all back for you. But it's not yours. It belongs to Bayun Village. My wheat. My wheat! My money! My wheat! My money! Basan, clause number 3 of the agreement. Party A must not damage the cultivated topsoil during the cleanup period. Yesterday you poured weed killer all over the fields. The photos, the witnesses, and even the plastic drums. We've got them all. 300,000 yuan for land restoration, and you won't get away with paying a single penny less. Boss Wu, we're not selling this land anymore. The contract clearly states agricultural use. The deal with Hengchou Chemical is off. Please leave. Technician Lu, I have a proposal. Hengchou Chemical can drop the chemical plant. If your malt processing supply chain needs investment, you provide the technology, and I'll provide the funding. We'll do a joint venture to build a modern malt processing factory right here at Bayun Village. What do you think? Mr. Gu, we can talk about the investment. But I have 2 absolute bottom lines. First, the land use type must not change. It must remain agricultural land. Second, the controlling stake of the factory must belong to the Bayan Village Collective. This is something we risked our lives to protect. We will never let outsiders control it again. Technician Liu, here's to a successful partnership. This isn't right. This isn't right.
This mold should be mine.
Mr. Wu, you and I are the real partners here.
Is the cargo from warehouse number 2 loaded yet?
That shipment for Germany must go out this afternoon. All the malt batch numbers on the customs declaration forms must be written by hand. Printed labels won't do. I have way too many strict rules. It's all loaded, Manager Zhao. Only the last pallet of samples is left to be sealed. Lao-san, the temperature sensor on line 3 in the workshop is alerting again. It shows the temperature is 0.7 degrees too high. Come and take a look. 0.7 degrees too high? But it was just calibrated last week. Why is it acting up again? I'm on my way. Keep those sample bags separate. Don't mix them up with the main shipment. Master Li, 0.7 degrees is still within the margin of error. Does it really matter?
It does matter. Chen Qing said, the German client's color deviation limit for the caramel malt cannot exceed 0.1.
If the temperature is 0.7 degrees too high, the color might end up off spec. Shut down line 3 for a moment. We need to recalibrate the temperature sensor. Haha, look who's here, Mr. Wu. Manager Zhao, where is President Liu? The new wheat harvest started in the fields today. He headed out first thing this morning. We started harvesting the new wheat today. Perfect. I have some business to discuss with him. This year's crop of IKang 58 is even better than the crop from 2 years ago. Ms. Zon, look at this year's wheat. I did a rough estimate. The yield is at least 900 caddies per mu. The soil has completely recovered. 2 years. Thank the Stoppel Quittus. This land is finally fully restored. Just like your grandpa used to say. The land. You have to serve it on your knees. You can't just stand there and boss it around. If you don't bow down to it, it will force you to kneel. It's been 2 years, and you actually kept your word. You made sure every single mu of land in Baiyuan village grew better wheat.
The results from the International Craft Beer Association are out. How did it go? The Global Caramel Malt Awards this year, our Baiyuan Special Kiln Premium Caramel Malt took first place.
The judge's comment said, perfect amber color.
The balance between caramel sweetness and coffee undertones reaches the absolute peak of handmade artisanal malt.
2 years ago, these things were evidence. Now they are history. Japanese order has been confirmed. 200 tons of premium malt at the same unit price of 8.5 yuan. Here's the expansion plan for the second half of the year.
We're adding 2 new production lines.
Where is the money for the expansion coming from? I can invest more. And what about the controlling stake? The Baiyuan Village Collective keeps 51%. That won't change.
You've guarded this bottom line for 2 years. Have I ever tried to cross it?
Then we have no problem.
To our partnership, haha. Brother Chang Qing, do you think President Wu is a good guy or a bad guy? He's neither a good guy nor a bad guy.
He's a businessman.
The key is who holds the profits.
We have to keep control in our own hands.
Listen on, do you still remember this exact day 2 years ago?
I remember. That was the day Sun Dafu locked you in the warehouse.
When the torrential rain poured down, I watched the wheat get ruined.
And I thought my life was completely over. That night, when I was locked in that old warehouse,
I kept telling myself, there's always a way out.
You have to find that path yourself.
At the time, all I had was a pencil sketch on the back of a fertilizer bag.
No advance payment, and no reply from Dr. Zhou. And you still dared to sign? If I signed, we still had a chance. If I didn't, the land would be gone.
Lao-san, some things in life, you just can't calculate.
The moment you start calculating,
You've already lost.
I get it. I'll handle the purchase order for the new production line tomorrow. Go on then. By the way, tell old man Lee to stop fussing over the probe on line 3.
0.7 degrees is well within the tolerance limit.
You even know about that? The temperature data for the entire factory is right here on my phone.
Steamed buns are here.
Fresh out of the steamer.
Still piping hot.
Chantin, you take the first bite.
You're the backbone of our village. Jindu, the flour from this year's new wheat harvest is much more fragrant than last year's.
What are you all standing around for? Eat up.
Today is a great day for Baiyun Village. No one hold back now.
卖剩衣裳，龙口多时。
Haha! Harvest season is like a battle.
We've got to race against the storm.